Today we're here with Lieutenant McKesey, who is a breast cancer survivor. Thank you for joining us today. When were you diagnosed with breast cancer and what age were you?
I was diagnosed in 2015 and I was 33 years old.
What stage were you diagnosed?
Initially it was stage 2, but after they went in and it turned into stage 3, it spread.
How was the cancer initially detected?
I had my daughter August 2014, and just like any other woman, after you have kids, your body goes through its changes. So I would get ready to go to work, and my bulletproof vest would actually feel funny. So my husband was like, "You need to go get checked out." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna, keep it moving." And I felt a change. So I ended up finally going to see my doctor. He ordered a mammogram, and he came back and said, "Well, we do see something there." That happened on a Monday. He scheduled me to go get an ultrasound done that Wednesday, and they said, "We see something that's, abnormal." And then Thursday, they had me go do a biopsy, and that's on that Friday. They told me they wanted me to come in and talk to me about it, and that's when they told me it was cancer.
So how did you feel when you first received that news?
Honestly, I didn't think nothing about it. And the first person I called was my mom. I was going down 285, and I was like, "Mom, they said I have cancer." And she was like, "No, you don't, girl." I said, "Mom, no, they said I have cancer." I'm like, "Okay." But it didn't hit me right then and there, but it hit everybody around me.
Yeah. Do you have a history of breast cancer in your family?
No history of breast cancer in my family.
So it was a shock?
Yes.
Did you have I know you talked about your mom, did you have a network or, support network with your family, friends, and, how did that work out?
Yeah, so basically I had my surgery. I stayed in the hospital for a week. A good close friend actually took care of our kids, my sons, for like that week. My father-in-law, my mother-in-law, took turns. My mom overwhelmed me. My sister overwhelmed me. My husband was, overwhelming. So yeah, it was overwhelming of support. Yeah.
So talk about the treatment process. How was it?
So after I was diagnosed, after I went through the whole process, they did, remove lymph nodes, and out the 4 lymph nodes they took out, 3 were actually infected. They had it tested and to see the type of basis of what type of cancer it was. And they basically said it was hormonal. So thank God I didn't have to go through no radiation. But they did put me on tamoxifen, which is a chemo pill. And they told me I had to be on it for the next 5 years. And I still had to go to my oncologist every 3 months. I had to go see my plastic surgeon, and I had to go see my cancer specialist doctor. So basically, like every 2 to 3 months, I was seeing the doctors over and over.
And what programs or services were offered that would help with the treatment?
Well, they wanted me to go through counseling because they were just saying I was so not bothered. And honestly, it took me almost 3 years to really come to grips that, I had cancer. And it took a close friend of my husband and mine that his wife ended up passing away from it. And when that happened, I was just like, "Oh wow, this is like," yeah, it was just like, you can't do this, you can't eat this, you have to watch this, and because I never talked about it. And they really tried to push me to do counseling. I just wouldn't do it. So there was many nights I cried, even after the surgery, the scars and stuff. It was just like a shocker, like, wow. My husband pushed me, like, "Babe, talk to the pastor at that church," and I would get mad at him, like, I'm not gonna talk to nobody. Like, nobody needs to know about my boob. I'm not, like, leave me alone. But it got to the point to where my mom was just like, "Shannon, you changing, like, you're just being plain out mean." And I end up 3 years later really talking about it.
So the pink badges that we have now, I would say you played an integral part in us getting these badges. How does it make you feel knowing that this program is now in the department that you work for, and that a lot of officers are supporting finding funding for research for survivors or people who could potentially have breast cancer.
And you're not gonna make me cry, but again, I want to thank you for seeing that vision. I could tell you how to do something all day long, but putting it together, that is you. So I really want to applaud you and humbly say thank you for actually shining a light on this type of situation. I've heard about breast cancer my whole entire life, but then once I was diagnosed with it, it was just like, wow. So it's something that I respected, and for me just to say something to you just out the blue about it, like, hey, you know, this department doing this, and then next thing you know, we're getting pink badges. I was like, oh. And you sent me a text and showed me the badge, and I was like, that was so humbling, and I just respected everything after that. Don't you do it.
I'm glad you like it.
A year after my breast cancer, my sister, she works for the CAD police department, and she plays for Showtime flag football, and they actually did a football breast cancer game, and I was the honoree of her team that year. And I dang near cried when I walked on the field because I saw nothing but pink, and everybody just did this breast cancer chant, and you know, it was amazing for my kids to see it, and that was literally like the first time I actually explained to my kids what had happened to me in the hospital, and it's like they better understood it. So it's like anytime they see something pink, mommy, this is you. It's, you know, it's great.
While we wrap it up, is there any positive message that you would like to provide to our viewers?
That I am grateful for this opportunity, number one, to, you know, share my testimony about, and I do say very humbly, it's my testimony because it took me a long time to even talk about it. But I'm just proud that I'm still here, and I'm just humble, and I thank God every day for the second chance at life.